Hey Disney family, I'm Stephanie and you are watching Facts About Disney. So today we are continuing on with my favorite things to do at Disney parks series, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite parks, Hollywood Studios. I have such a deep love for Hollywood Studios. I think it is by far one of the best parks that Disney has ever made. I love it there so much. The thing with Hollywood Studios though is that since it's going under like tremendous expansion and stuff, a lot of my favorite things at Hollywood Studios have been taken out in a way, but they are putting so much new stuff in there. So if I don't mention like the new Toy Story stuff, it's because I've never gone with the new Toy Story stuff in there. So I'm going to be talking about everything that I loved about Hollywood Studios, whether it had gotten taken out or not, just because it was my favorite thing to do there. I absolutely love walking down the main entrance of Hollywood Studios. You're kind of walking through Sunset Boulevard, I think they want you to believe. I love the feeling. I think it's just such a cute area and cute street. I don't know about you guys, but when you are walking a sidewalk that looks like an actual street that cars go down, I get a little scared because you're trained your whole entire life not to do that, and then all of a sudden we're doing it, all the time. It's just a little weird to me. I love the Chinese theater that they rebuilt there. Basically, I forgot what's the name of it. I forgot what the name of it is, actual Hollywood, but that's where Walt actually premiered Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, his first animated film that they ever made. So I thought that was such a cute thing that they have there. It's such a special memento. I absolutely love going over and looking at all the Disney handprints and footprints over there as well. I think it's just a cute little add-on that they did to kind of resemble the actual Chinese theater. I absolutely loved the Great Movie Ride, and I'm super sad that it's been taken out of the park, but I am super excited to see what this new Mickey and Minnie ride is going to be looking like. I'm hoping it's something awesome because I'm super duper excited for it. Something that I actually really love about Hollywood Studios is that it actually used to be stages that they would have TV shows being filmed at and movies and stuff like that along with the whole park. So they used to have a backstage tour and you get to see all of what they were working on at that moment. One major thing that was filmed at Hollywood Studios back when it was MGM Studios was the Mickey Mouse Club. I love the Mickey Mouse Club even though it was kind of a little bit before my time. I still have some of the DVDs of some of the episodes. I just think it was such a cute show. Also, we get to see baby Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, Ryan Gosling, of course Justin Timberlake. All these amazing people that we all know today started off on that show. So what I actually learned from a tour guide is where Toy Story Mania is, that was the sound stage of the Mickey Mouse Club. So when you're walking up that platform before you go down the stairs to actually get on the ride, that is where guests used to go and view the Mouseketeers performing or practicing and stuff like that. That just blows my mind of how cool and historic what Hollywood Studios is. That's so weird. Whenever I go there, I'm like, guys, Justin Timberlake, Ryan Gosling, they were in this room. That kind of goes on to say one of my favorite things about the park is Toy Story Mania. I love Toy Story Mania. There's a reason that line is as long as it is. It is just so much fun. Your arm though, it gets a little cramping afterwards, but I absolutely love getting to play those games. It's always fun to do it against my dad or against one of my friends, and it's so much fun. Now, I love the Muppets. I love the Muppets so much, and the fact that they have their own little area at Hollywood Studios makes me so happy. I love the little fountain with Miss Piggy in it. I love the little show that they have over there. I don't do it every time I go, but guys, it's so cute. It's so cute. One of my favorite things that they used to have before they took it out, which I'm still kind of salty about, was the Streets of America. What I absolutely loved about the Streets of America is basically they were trying to show how some movie sets are built, and so how they kind of have the fake skyline with more buildings and how they build buildings with, nothing on the other side of them. And I always thought that was super cool. I remember from what I had from what my tour guide was telling me is they kind of based it off of some of the buildings that they made for Newsies that came out in 1992 with Christian Bale. You guys know your homegirl's really obsessed with Newsies. So the fact that he was telling me that, whenever I used to go down there, I used to be singing Santa Fe and stuff, and I loved it so much. Also, Once Upon a Time fans, they used to have Mr. Gold's Pawn Shop, that's what it's called. They used to have the sign there, and they had the book from Once Upon a Time and all that fun stuff. It was so cool. I absolutely loved that. I thought that was the coolest thing on the planet. Another huge thing that's going on right now at Hollywood Studios is all the Star Wars stuff, because of course they're making on the new Star Wars land and they have all their Star Wars stuff anyways. I absolutely love Star Tours. I used to do it all the time when I lived in California, so the fact that when we went to Disney World they still had it, it always made me happy. And I love all the new features and stuff that they've done with it. Your homegirl was a rebel spy once, and that absolutely made my life. That was a bucket list thing that I never thought was going to happen, and it happened, and I was so happy. So I would definitely suggest going to the launch bay. Going to the launch bay, you get to see a lot of costumes and stuff that they have used in the movie. You also get to meet characters like BB-8, Chewbacca, and Kylo Ren. I have met everybody but BB-8. The line for BB-8 was a little bit long, and so we decided not to meet him just because we had other stuff to do and other places to be. So, but every time I met Chewbacca, it's just, it's a mind-blowing experience. I still can't believe it. I grew up watching Star Wars with my father, and I always loved Chewie. Chewie is always my favorite character. I met Kylo Ren for the first time. I gotta say, not a huge fan. He's scary. He's a little scary. You'd think that maybe he would be nice to you because you're meaning him. No. He is mean. He is very mean. I also like the cues for that because they have Star Wars quizzes going on, and it just kind of is like, how well do I actually know Star Wars type of thing, and I have to say I know Star Wars pretty well, not gonna lie. And I just love that area. I also love that they do the Jedi training for the younger kids. So if you do have a younger child, maybe around the ages of 7 through 10, definitely go have them sign up for Jedi training. They get to, fight Darth Vader, and I just think it's super cute. I am the biggest fan of Tower of Terror. I love Tower of Terror, and I hope that they do not change Tower of Terror in Hollywood Studios. I hope they keep it the way it is. They changed Tower of Terror and California Adventure, the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which I know a lot of people absolutely love. But guys, I just like Tower of Terror, and I want it to stay the way that it is. I just like it. It's so much fun. They scare you, and yes, I get really scared and I don't want to do it, but then my friends like, Stephanie, we have to do it, and I'm like, yeah, we do. And then of course, one of the other amazing things at Hollywood Studios is of course Rock and Roller Coaster. I used to be so scared of this ride, and now that I'm older, I finally have a love and appreciation for it, and it is definitely one of my favorite rides. I could not go on that ride without myself crying, and this past trip was the first time I ever actually smiled when it took off, because I normally just scream. I can't help it. I never thought it was possible, and your homegirl did it. Pat on the back. Pat on the back. Yas. My favorite place to eat at Hollywood Studios is definitely the Prime Time 50s cafe that they have. I love it. You basically go in and you sit down, and it looks like you are in a kitchen from the 50s, and your waitresses, they basically kind of are like your aunts or your cousins, and they yell at you if you don't eat your greens, and they're like, if you don't eat all your broccoli, I'm not bringing you out dessert and stuff like that. And I think it's just an amazing experience to get to have. I always suggest at least go once in your life, because I think it's so much fun, and I think it is just an amazing little treat that they have for you there. The people there are honestly just so nice and so loving, and it's just one of those things that you would never get to do outside of Disney. My last favorite thing to do at Hollywood Studios is Fantasmic. I remember when we lived in California, my mom would camp out for Fantasmic because it was on Tom Sawyer Island. I'm pretty sure that's where they still have it. I want to say. I had not 100% positive, but literally my mom would get a blanket and she would get us a spot, and my dad and I would go ride some rides, and then they would switch, and that way I could still go off and do something, but they would just sit there and camp out for Fantasmic. I also have some very fond memories of sitting on my dad's shoulders and then my legs falling asleep because I had been sitting on them for so long. But Fantasmic honestly has always amazed me. It's always kept me in the zone, and I just think it's so beautiful and such a touching little show that everyone has to go see. But if you're like me and you don't necessarily like crowds, I don't mind crowds. I do mind, however, being in a situation that I feel like I can't get out of. And Fantasmic is one of those, shows. Obviously, when you go see a show, you want to sit in the middle. You want to sit in, where you could see everything perfectly. I would suggest if you're wanting to do that, you may either, one, leave a little earlier and beat the crowds coming out. So I think the best time to get to do this is when Mickey comes out in his, glittery suit. Just get up and start walking towards the exit. That way you're kind of beating the crowds just a little bit. You're obviously not going to beat them completely, but you get kind of out of the way so that way you're not being bulged with a crowd of people. Or just sit there and wait a little bit. Because I remember being stuck in that crowd once for over an hour and I was having an anxiety attack like no other. What Kendall and I did this past trip, we sat as close to the top as we could near an exit, because I told her about, how I get really anxious and stuff, and she 100% understood. So we sat towards one of the sides, towards the top row. I think we were like the second or third row from the top. And as Mickey got into that suit, I started seeing people getting up and leaving. So I was like, Kendall, this may be a good time for us to leave. And at that point, we had seen pretty much all of it. And the last thing that was going to happen was, the last few fireworks. So, which we actually got to see as we were walking out. By doing this, we beat all the crowds. We beat all the crowds. And it was just amazing. I didn't have to worry about getting a really bad anxiety attack, and we were able to get on a bus right away and go back to the hotel and take a nap because that was a much needed day that we needed to go to bed. So yeah, so that's probably my biggest tip with Fantasmic, 100%. So guys, that is all my favorite things to do at Hollywood Studios. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to be part of this crazy family, and also like this video and hit that notification button if you want just to be notified the next time a video comes out, because that way you could watch more of them if you want. Anyways, I hope you guys have a magical rest of your day, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye!
Nice to be back, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, where are you from?